Can I tell the flavor? We're doing a flavor exclusive for Dashmart.
They're not your friends. You don't have to like your family all the time. Try to laugh about it, because if you don't, you'll cry.
Back to the podcast. We've been gone. Last week, we didn't do it because we were traveling.
Yeah.
And the week before that, did we do it? Because I left on Wednesday.
That's
we did
right.
on Tuesday.
Yeah, we did.
So we just missed last week.
Yeah.
But we're okay because we built in a buffer. So probably next week we may like double up to catch up.
Last week, dude. Busy week.
Yeah, last week. I'm still recovering from last week. That's a joke. I'm not really recovering from last week, but maybe actually.
Oh,
so
man, all that. Yeah, it's a lot of brain, physical, everything.
Yeah, so, the previous podcast we recorded, I went to Disney with Aubrey, Letty, and then we met Aubrey's family, some of Aubrey's family's down there, and then my sister came and joined us. It was a great time. Then I flew from Orlando to Chicago, and we went to the Process Expo.
Process Expo 2023.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
It was, man. It was a lot of fun. Sure.
But
eye-opening.
It was a lot of walking and a lot of equipment that I had never seen before.
Me neither.
I'd only been to Packaging Expo before, and that obviously focuses more on things like the flow wrappers, the vertical fill and seal situation,
package, the bagging, the boxing.
Yeah, or any kind of fulfillment stuff. They had this really cool machine at Package Expo. I'll tell you about this, though. You put everything you wanted to put inside of a bag, like in this like slot, and it built the roll film around it, and it made a mailer like the perfect size.
Oh, doesn't Hayden have that one of those?
No, not that.
Okay.
But,
they had something he was trying to show me, but then he was like, we don't really use it that much. I don't know.
Well, maybe
we were at Hydro Drug too. We'll
honestly,
get to that.
Honestly, he may have it and then not even.
Hayden, you got one of those?
Some people just got it like that. You know?
True that.
We'll
get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, and then obviously
coming for y'all.
You saw Nick Bear's machine. I think I showed you.
Dude. That's
BPN.
crazy.
You literally put the products on a conveyor belt. It like scans it and then cuts out cardboard to build a perfect box around it.
I want to go through it, and it just put me in a little cardboard box.
I bet you there's rules.
I guess it'd be
people
in it, but it'd be like, oh, this is cozy. It'd be nice.
You'd have to hold the position still for like too long. There's no way you could physically do that. Adam's a pacer. He wouldn't be able to do it.
True that, buddy.
They'd be like, no, you have to hold still.
Package is moving. Yeah.
But again, Process Expo was crazy. We saw machines I never knew existed. We got to play with like X-ray machines. We got to giant walk-in smokers.
Yeah, I was literally inside. I mean, if y'all think your smoking game is on point, it's not. We could have the whole team could have fit inside this thing. You must have hanged whole cows. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 7-8 feet tall inside. As wide as you wanted, doors, racks. It was awesome.
Yeah, they had all kinds. I mean, they had.
But this is industrial level, y'all. This ain't for like a little restaurant. This is like for somebody who's selling like smoked beef jerky or something to the world.
Yeah, or I think hot dogs. I think they were making hot dogs at that booth. Remember?
Cool. Yeah, they were, but like all those companies also make. So maybe.
There's a lot of sausage process. There's a lot of meat processing
money in
that
meat.
must go on.
Because a lot of money in meat.
There were so many meat processing people there. But no, I actually read some people's badges like when I was walking around, and I saw some like big.
I did too.
brands.
ConAgra was there.
Yeah.
Dow Chemical and the other big chemical company was there.
DuPont.
I didn't see
Dow,
a DuPont badge.
Bayer, and BASF are the 4 largest chemical companies.
Yeah.
Just because
maybe it was I know Dow was there, but
I saw Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson Foods was there for sure.
Tyson. But no, it's just really interesting to see. I think I saw Kraft. I'm pretty sure I saw someone with a Kraft sign on too.
Yeah, probably.
But again, interesting to see like that whole world of things. People had little tiny booths, and then people had like the entire floor space. It reminded me from a fitness expo standpoint, because I know a lot of people that probably watch our podcast are also fitnessy. It reminded me of like going to the Arnold and you would see, or the Olympia, and you'd see people in like little booths that were just like 10 by 10. But then you had like Bang, who was in like this giant, they had a stage. And
thing is though, man, if y'all been to fitness expos, you would have need to been to a big one to touch just the footprint of this thing, man. It was huge.
It was similar in size to like the Arnold.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
you'd
have to have gone to like
one
of those, because Riser was probably like 4 city blocks worth of equipment, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, like they had probably 18 like meat like some form of portioners, whatever, and then they had their whole wrappers section.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many pieces.
Well, they were literally making food on their lines
there.
that they were cooking and serving to you, which was actually pretty cool to see.
Wild.
They were making like stuffed meatballs and like sausages and sliders.
But anyways, what this means for us is, I mean, this kind of opens our eyes, right? You only know what you know, and now we've seen the ability. We've also made some really cool connections. So Brad and I have had several people come through the facility. We had John from Hanman through the facility today. That was really cool. Keans came through the facility. I mean, big players, international players that are now seeing our brand, seeing Fat and Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adam hates Hanman's name because it's spelled hand T man.
Yeah, I wish
and
we
it's
could pull it
Hanman.
up.
So
it's just a weird T, dude. I'm sorry. Let me be culturally whatever. It's hard for my white American mouth to say that T. Well, it's too German.
Yeah, it's a German thing. So it's a German American mouth.
Whatever.
Or German white German mouth.
Handman. That's it. Handman.
But anyways, it was just really cool to see because when you're in this world and you've never you don't have a background in like I didn't go to school for this kind of stuff. I mean, there's people that go to school for like manufacturing and things like that, so they know about this stuff. So you like don't even know the companies like this exist. So I've already connected a couple of my friends with companies that I met there that I was like, oh, this is an issue for them.
You need to
I
meet this person.
It'll help.
For sure.
It'll help them. So that's been a cool experience. But yeah, so we got back from we flew directly from Chicago to Salt Lake, and we were visiting a co-packer or a potential co-packer / now they're going to be a co-packer for us.
Yeah.
And then while we were there, we also stopped by HydroJug and saw the HydroJug family, if you will. Aubrey and I have been with them for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So, or 4 years, something. So it literally feels like family. Aubrey's like one of their first ever sponsored athletes. So.
Oh yeah, it was great. They were all super nice people. You could tell they're very close knit, but I mean, they just talk super highly about y'all, and you could tell it's genuine. So I like seeing that from people.
Yeah. So really cool to see their facility and the things they're doing. I think you got to nerd out a little bit on the laser engraving machine.
Yeah, man, that was neat. I took a video, showed it to my son. He's been geeking out about it. So we may find like a little hobby size one to like play with. Anyways, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, they were doing Black Rifle Company.
Black Rifle Company, like obviously HydroJugs.
Yeah,
they're big ones.
And then after Salt Lake, we flew back, and we immediately started like kind of working on the Myers order that we have going on right now.
Man, yeah.
When you pivot into wholesale, you kind of hope to like dip your toes in a little bit, and I don't think that we got to quite dip our toes in. We kind of like had to like jump in.
Sink or swim, boys.
Yeah, I think we were hoping for like a 50-ish thousand cookie wholesale order that would kind of like, that would be like stressful but not like kill us. But the order was 100,000 cookies. It's all new equipment. And if there's any advice I can give you as an entrepreneur, it's that no matter how good your plan is and how well you think it's going to work, like something's probably going to go wrong and you're going to need to pivot. And
it always costs more money.
And just add in more time.
It always costs, it's more time and it's more money. And so, depending on how many people you need. So like what Brad's talking about, we've got a very complicated piece of machinery. We need a lot of bodies around it just to help out in the event something goes wrong.
Until we figure it out, Yeah.
So that time costs a lot of money because it's person. It's, it's not just Brad and I's lack of focus on everything else we got to work on for the business. It's, our people and everything.
So with that being said,
stuff.
like we've built in like a 2-week extra time on the Myers order. And right now I would say we're probably only like 3 days behind.
Yep.
Ish.
Give or take.
So we'll see. I don't know if we'll like catch up, but I think that we can actually gain some days back because we're kind of pushing pretty quick.
Well,
now.
we had those couple of hangups, and you and I were both out of town during the run of Black Beauty. When we go to run Big Sexy, we're good just because we'll have the room by then. Myers will have picked up their first couple of flavors. I think we can shorten the time. Again, I'm with you. I don't know that we catch up, but
we put 4 days in for production for those, and I think that we can do it in 3.
I agree with you.
And so if we were able to knock out Big Sexy and then Pudge in 3 days, then we buy ourselves back 2 days right there.
That's right.
So I think that will be good. And then also this month we have the big Dash Mart order.
Yup.
And the cool thing is, I think we can talk about it completely because the podcast is like 2 or 3 weeks behind.
Yep.
So like probably by the time you watch this, we'll actually be doing the Dash Mart order.
We will.
But can I tell the flavor? I mean, I don't think they said anything about not being able to share the flavor.
It's I don't see why not. It's one of our fat and weird, wacky, wild combos. I don't know. We probably don't need to tell anybody exactly how it's made. If y'all want to know more, we do have an R&D division. You can contact us, sales at Fat and Weird.
But we're doing a flavor exclusive for Dashmart. It is not a flavor we've ever released before. We actually made them a couple of different iterations.
It's really good.
And they picked out some flavors. I really like the cookie. I think it's a really good cookie. I mean, obviously. But, I mean, I would choose that cookie out of like a couple of flavors that we have. It's really good. So I'm excited about that because they believe in like a long-term partnership with us. Yep. So they're like putting some marketing dollars behind it, which is always helpful for a smaller brand like us.
Right. Well, and it's nice too, because, we're getting involved with these brands that are young like we are. Okay. Now, and we've done well, and, financially we're working on getting our weight up there, but boy, some of these cats have deep pockets.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to go, not just that you like me, that's all cool too. Don't get me wrong. That's super cool. But like, nah, y'all had really fancy analytics teams running numbers, running this, running that. You've kicked the tires. You've looked at our facility. You've done, we can hang. That awesome. I knew we could hang, but like, y'all know we can too. Like, y'all are professionals. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then, another one that I think that we just have to stay cryptic on for now, sorry guys, is a national franchise brand has reached out to us, and apparently, we had already been in discussions potentially about our cookies being in their stores, but they've pitched it to their franchisees, which I'll let Adam talk about this a little bit more, but coming from the franchisee world, it's very rare that all the franchisees are so on board with like bringing something like this on, because
it is
franchisees don't want to change.
Oh. Yeah. So kind of jumping in that, I think we've talked about it a little bit. I've got a fast food franchise background, had some for a little while. We build those things to kind of set it and forget it. Effectively, we're trying to build out. It's a lot of work to set them up. It's a lot of work to get all the people in place. You whittle down your margins all the way down to, but you own lots of locations, and then you just want to sit back and relax. So for a franchisor to come in and say, we want you to add this product or add this service or add this anything, right? And I mean this across all. I was in landscaping, fast food. I've done all kinds of franchise. It costs. It costs money. It costs time. Costs money. Costs me something. And like, you're going to have to show me an ROI that makes sense. And then I have to come up with the cash. And, the franchisors are almost never McDonald's. So they're almost never in a position where it's like, here, we're financing it to you. You're taking it. It's like you have to buy it. So that's tough. Well, when you have a brand that was successful, that is still very successful. Sorry, let me back up fully. When brands that maybe have some flatter sales stuff, or they have new competition, or any number of reasons, they need to do things to shake up their brand.
Yeah, there's a well-established brand that it's more like they haven't done anything new in a while, so they're not shiny anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, huge brand. Okay, so but so to be clear, what we've been able to do, what Brad's done, a good job. What we keep doing well here, I believe, is shining a light on the brand, doing fun and wild things. And so they like some of that component, and they like it mixed with the fact that we there's kismet with our products, and they like our wild, flavorful, over the top combos. And when you combine those two things, they think it can really increase their sales. So to jump back on what I was saying, when brands have kind of sort of flat growth, flat sales, they need something to shake it up. That something is big. And when the whole brand is facing it, well, I want to set it and forget it, but I want a paycheck too. So like, I did put millions of dollars into these things. If I don't want to put any more money into it, but if my paychecks dwindle far enough down to nothing,
right?
It need some juice. Yeah. Daddy needs some juice back in there. Then that's fine too.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So it's just really fun, because right now, if someone would have asked me even last year, when we were, this time last year, we were actually entertaining an offer for Fat and Weird. If someone would to tell me, hey, a year from now, you're not going to sell Fat and Weird, you're going to be
dunking on everybody else.
You're going to be pushing like very well into wholesale, been very receptive, and that there'd be this brand was interested in like working with you, I would have been like, you're fucking
Yeah.
with me, you know? So it's just really cool to like,
That's God, dude.
I know. For
Opening
sure.
doors,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
It's crazy.
I've always said that if someone wants to sit down and talk to me the more about the story of Fat and Weird, I can like show you how God has had his hand in this and how he's answered prayers along the way and guided us and closed doors that we shouldn't have been involved with and opened others.
Well, I don't know the, I don't where it's from in the book, but like, Satan tempts, God tests. So all that hard stuff we go through, man, that's God. All the easy little side pieces.
Well, I was actually reading some Job the other day, which I don't know if you want to read
the
about
old
God,
book of Job, huh?
God testing you. Job lost everything, like his family, his crops, his everything, right? And they said he never like turned his back on God, and because of his faithfulness, like God rewarded him and blessed him way more than his original blessing.
Follow him.
But it will say in there that Job did get upset with God. And Job did essentially say, God, why are you doing this to me? Like, why, what's going on? And I think that a lot of people think that you can't be upset. A lot of times you're upset because you don't understand the purpose, right? When you're a kid and your parents tell you, like, you can't eat that candy for dessert, you like need to eat something that's more nutritious, like you're upset. But, a lot of times God takes things away from you because he has such a better plan for you. Or in order for you to succeed later, you need to go through what you're going through now in order to have the patience, the perseverance,
that's exactly
the
right.
understanding or whatever to excel at the next part of your life.
Oh, man, it's sad. It's a sad world, but growth and beauty come from pain. It doesn't matter if you don't feel it. If it doesn't hurt, you forget. So that's God. That's what he's doing for you. He's saying, you need patience. I'll help you. You need trust. I'll help you. I'll take everything from you, and you will have it
right. I think,
or you'll break.
Well, we as a society put like admiration on things that we know take a lot of time because we know the sacrifice that goes into them. Sure. So like looking at your physique or looking at my physique or Aubrey's physique and like looking around, like the reason that people find that admirable is because they know you have to do some level of work to get there.
Pain.
Right. The pain for it. Also, usually
rents due.
Usually when people are financially well off, the admiration comes from people know how much work, regardless of how much help you got starting it, there's still a level of work that's required to get to those steps. I know people want to like knock on certain people, like maybe the Kardashians, or you want to knock on, people that had daddy's money. But the end of the day is there's still required some level of work to attain a level of success. And so I think that the only reason we find that admirable is because we know the pain, the work, the suffering, the amount of time that goes into those
people
things.
Look at it, right, and they go, I don't want to go through the pain of not eating what I want to eat. Right? Yeah. That's it. I don't want to go through the pain of having to walk. Like, it's not even hard. You don't even have to work out that hard. But I don't want to go through the pain of having to go to the gym, period. Yeah. Like, or I don't want to go through the pain of not going out to eat and saving my money so that I can make an investment that pays me later. I know it's not as simple as going out to eat once, but I mean, when you shrink, my wife and I did that for a long time. We shrunk our budget, bro. We bought a house, got it, lived out of the washing dishes in the bathtub, all that shit, right? But we were able to make investments that, like, we don't have to do that shit anymore. Like, we just don't. And that matters. But it was painful. But we went through, whatever. Do today what others want, so you can do tomorrow what others can't.
Yeah.
Live by that, man. It's huge, but that's it. It was experiential for us. We understood what it felt like. But it's also where I can look people and be like, do it anyway. Suck it up. It's not that bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, if there was a button to press that you just had whatever physique you wanted, no one would idolize
wouldn't matter
muscular big physiques or lean physiques because they would realize it's just a switch that you got to flip, and then everyone would look the same. And then at that point, you're like, you're not different, So,
right. Well, there's no work involved, and there's no difference, Yeah, just like what you're saying. But
I'll be honest with you, though, I don't even know how we got onto this.
I don't either,
but
I like it.
Again, the national brand. We're really excited about the potential for them. There's also another national brand that wants to work with us. And I think we're still doing some testing with them.
We
out of,
definitely
like,
are.
Jacksonville.
We are. So we will be doing. So the
I
second.
don't know that much about this one.
Okay, so the second one we will still be doing some testing with. It will be less impactful for them to roll it out nationally, and that's kind of what we said. It's like, yeah, cool. We want to sort of maybe help your stores because we're going to do some content stuff and make it fun and put it out so y'all can see it too. But like other than that, we kind of only have time for you if we can get all of your stores in America because that's where we're trying to be.
Right.
So we're going to do some testing with them, but it's easier. We could do a display option like we talked about. You know, we still kind of have to be vague about this guy, sorry. But we can do a display option and just ship it to them and be like, boom, there's your product. It's in a display, you know.
Right.
Plug it in.
So those are like the two big things on the horizon that I feel like we're not really sure where that can go. I know a lot of people are really excited. DashMart, you'll be able to get our cookies like same day, which is really big deal for us, right? The other thing is, you know,
Set some records too.
yeah, we set those records on DashMart, which is why we get to do that cookie with them. Soon, in early next year, we will be in all the Hershey's locations. So if you live close to Times Square, Hershey's, Pennsylvania, Niagara Falls or Las Vegas, like you'll be able to get Fat and Weird cookies at a Hershey location. I think my goal now with Fat and Weird is just to make it accessible for everyone. You know,
that's right.
Even more accessible than that other cookie company.
Love it.
You know, they have 800 locations. Both of the franchisors or whatever that we're talking to, both of them have over 1,000 locations
each.
Yeah, each. So, like hypothetically speaking, we could be in 2,000 locations by this time next year.
Oh, but there's more because we will. That's not even all the grocery stores we're going to be in. All the DashMart locations we're going to be in. We should be in every major city by the end of Q2 of next year on some form of Ghost retail product. So by the end of Q2 2024, we should be in every major city. By the end of Q4 of next year, we should be in every MSA tertiary, which is like, I don't know how to say that. Like, I still don't think Panama City might have one yet, but Pensacola would damn sure have one.
Right. Okay.
So whatever size that is, you know.
Yeah. I would call those
which is amazing. That's so cool.
Medium-sized cities, you know, cities that have a population of probably like 150-ish thousand.
I think probably 100 or more will probably get one because they're trying to push grocery stores out of business. Right. So I don't. Whatever.
So, and then we still are going on Amazon Fresh, but I don't know if you heard that like half the Amazon Freshes are closing down. So.
I watch another podcast, and they were talking about it on Amazon not renewing leases. And as soon as I saw the title, I was like, oh, man, that's a big deal. Because, y'all, it was something like 60 leases, I think, right? Look it up yourself. But y'all have to understand the size of the space, the footprint.
Right. So what people don't realize is that, like, Amazon actually, low-key controls the cost of warehouse spacing.
Yeah.
Because they're so big and they rent so many warehouses, everyone kind of like uses them for like
their per foot model. If there's anyone around, you know, they're trying to, and it's terrible too, because they're brand new facilities. And like, so if I own a warehouse, I rent it. There's no Amazon around here, so it does nothing to me. And it would be boutique anyways. But if you are a large industrial owner, like where Hydro Drug is,
right?
You know,
they're looking for Amazon. Well, he told us. Remember the other facility they're not even using? That also like Dagger. Hearing how much they pay to rent that out, and they have to sublease it, and they're only subleasing half, so they're just losing that much money. Yeah. I was like
losing like $80,000 a month or something.
60.
60.
Yeah, I would have. You know what I would have done for real? I would figure out a way to make money over there.
Yes,
I'd build something. I don't know. I would do something. I wouldn't lose $60,000 a month. I can tell you that. But obviously. They're okay.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah. It's just
I don't know, man.
In Utah, you're not selling meth in Utah. I can tell you that.
Coca-Cola. No, they sell a lot of sodas there, though. They do sell a lot of sodas.
So actually,
Soda Factory.
So actually, you know, one of the companies that when we were going to be acquired that originally wanted to like work with us was all those like soda companies up there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because they wanted to compete with the cookie companies that come out of Utah.
Makes sense.
You know,
makes sense.
So,
I know you mentioned. I forgot that you told me.
Yeah, it's
I remember you telling me.
What are all the soda companies, babe? There's like Fizz and. Yeah, there's like Fizz and something that starts with an S, and they literally.
You know, Alan Branch had something to do with one of those. Our buddy.
Oh really?
Yeah, he had some. Not one of those companies, but a soda company.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was called.
Oh yeah, I remember
Dirty
that.
Lemon.
Yeah, Dirty Lemon. Yeah, he was telling about that.
I don't know how it's doing. Y'all look it up and comment below.
They sold for a lot of money.
Yeah, they did.
So,
Coca-Cola, I think, got involved.
Yeah, it's wild when you hear about these companies that you've never even heard of being bought for like $100 million.
Yeah.
Well, like I just recently heard about True
True Fruit, I know.
Which is like those like chocolate covered dehydrated strawberries and stuff.
Y'all.
And they sold for what? Like
$190 million to Mars.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 400 something million.
I don't know.
Well, still, almost 200 million to Mars is still like
I've only been around like a week.
I know. I feel like they haven't. And I was just like,
hey, well,
what?
it's brand, right? It's brand. It's people see that, right? They don't see Brookstone and think the same product somehow.
Yeah.
I don't. The Brookstone one looks like an old person's food.
Yeah.
It's like white, it's like the white bag with the weird logo on the front.
Well, that's like
True Fruit is like.
Do you remember the candy that was sent to us? That Edward Marks candy?
Yeah.
It looked like an old person that designed the packaging.
It looked bad. It looked like I was supposed to order that out of a catalog, like out of a magazine.
It looked like I would go.
But the candy was delicious.
Yeah, it was. That's what I told him. I said,
what was that? Orange coated
almonds?
Yeah.
I told him, I
Wild.
said, in the Girl Scout Thin Mint things. But no lie, I told the guy that sent it to us, I said, bro, like, I think this is incredible. Like, it tastes so good. But your packaging is like something I would find in my grandma's pantry. Like, it's just like old packaging, Speaking of packaging, P Science is joining us on that all black packaging train.
Nice job, guys.
We got told when we were switching to black packaging I mean,
fancy people, whatever you want to call
all
it.
kinds of people.
Whatever.
We're like, this is terrible. You shouldn't do this. Like, CPGs are supposed to be this color and this color. You have to do this. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, Brad said, you have to do it.
Yeah.
F off.
And so we went to the all black packaging, and the results have been like people have loved our packaging.
Yeah, it looks great.
I feel like we stand out a lot more. So yeah, I can't wait to go on shelves though next to all those white products.
Dude, me too. Isn't that so wild though? Because all those same people, like, where do they get their data? Because they were like, yeah, that looks good, but no, you can't do it.
Yeah, I know. They'd be like, this looks really sleek.
That looks great.
But you shouldn't do it.
Don't do that though. No.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I know.
You're telling me you would be called to the product. This is a consumer product. Like, okay.
But so yeah, I think that's just another data point that a lot of people are going to give you advice and input on what you should and shouldn't do. And some of them may have really great reasons based on like past experiences or research and data. But at the end of the day, it's like your brand that you're building and your overall vision for the brand is what's more important.
That's right. And if they ain't going to be there helping you put out the fires that may occur from said advice, then really just consider the source anyways, man. People, it's real easy to be like, oh, what you ought to do is... But if you're like, hey, man, do this, and if it screws up, I got your back, then it's like, oh, okay, cool.
You know what we should do? Like one day we should just do an entire podcast where we reminisce on all the fires that we've had to put out.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Like, I just thought the bags, and I thought about...
the
do you remember,
piston, right when I got here, dude?
Do you remember hand bagging?
Yeah.
So many cookies because the machine...
The bagging machine's not working?
Well, we didn't have the new bags.
Oh, yeah.
Christian...
CP, we love you.
But anyways, no, I mean, I think that'd be funny to like go back because, for me, I have
the lightning storm.
Yeah.
The fucking generator just deciding to
turn on and turn off. And
you can't have regular power.
Yeah.
You can only have generator power now.
Yeah. We had to like manually kick, side tangent,
right,
but
yeah,
really,
that's a good idea.
No, I think it'd be fun because I think that a lot of times, like as an entrepreneur, you can get like so down on yourself, and then when you make it out of those times, you never like look back and reflect on like, hey, like we did it, we made it as a team.
Yeah.
But speaking of made it as a team, our team has been working really hard this week.
Killed it.
We've had to like run the bagging machine. This is a no judgment zone. We've had to hand bag and seal a lot of Black Beauty because we had a tech on site Monday and Tuesday, like working on the machine, and we couldn't actually run it. So Wednesday was the first day we actually got to like run it. And then we obviously had to troubleshoot any issues that we came about. So I want to say about half of them have been done by hand.
That's close.
And the rest have been done by the bagging machine. We're going to continue using the bagging machine tomorrow, but because our team has just done such a good job, we wanted to like reward them with something fun. So we'll just do it on the podcast right now.
Cool.
I was thinking, Aubrey always likes to go pick up like the Sonic drinks for everyone, and then we could just do like pizza.
Food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's kind of what I was thinking to do. I just don't know if we need to tell them now. Because like, hey, don't bring.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah, we'll just tell them. Hey, we're gonna do some food tomorrow for lunch, and
Yeah.
stuff for everybody. And
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell them.
So, but that's something that it really matters about your employees.
Morale.
Well, not that, like they're like how they get along.
Yeah.
Themselves. Because like used to, I would do this stuff, and my other employees didn't want to hang out with each other.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
too bad.
They created like
We're a family.
They had little cliques within them. And
Yeah,
again,
I
there's
know.
nothing wrong with those employees. Every employee that's ever been through Fat and Weird has done a crucial part in getting Fat and Weird to where it is today. And I really don't have anything bad that I want to publicly air out about anyone.
Sure.
There are some employees that I would hire again and some that I would not. But in general,
As it stands now, though, we got some pretty stellar people.
right. So as a general, we have one of the most cohesive groups I've ever had here. And so they enjoy when we do stuff
Well,
like
and
this.
to touch on that, though, like, because we kind of talked about it, and not to seem patronizing to anybody, I know they're adults. We were kind of joking about, we've got another employee coming down here. Easty, you'll see it. But having to, kind of juggle life's problems that life throws at them.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when you have employee events, and again, I don't mean to say anybody's like a child, but sometimes you kind of do have to play daddy or mommy and daddy or whatever it is. Oh, you don't like your sister? You don't want to sit at this table with too effing bad. Sit at the table with your sister. We're sitting here. We're eating family. We are.
Yeah.
We work together.
Yeah,
We're a family.
So like
we're
even,
here.
Even we did our potluck on Monday. Like everyone came and ate at the potluck.
Yep.
And so I think that's.
Well, I
really
use that
the
term
thing
for real, like family, like I don't have a ton of actual blood relatives, but I use that term for real because we're here working towards a common goal. They're not your friends. You don't have to like your family all the time. You still have to show up. You have to put in work for your family. You got to,
Yeah.
you can't drop the ball for your family. Like, even if they make you mad one day, or you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got a good group of people here. And, that's a great idea. I really think we should reward them.
Yeah. So we're going to do something special tomorrow as like a little reward for how hard this week has been, because it's, really, truthfully, it hasn't been as hard. It's more about their flexibility to understand, like, hey, this is what we were supposed to be doing today, but we've actually got to do this instead. Or, hey, I know you're supposed to cut out at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Can you stay till 5?
That's right.
And those kind of things are what I
well, and I've found
means a lot without like the huff and puff, because I've had people in the past that would be like, yeah, I guess I could stay till 5. Sure. And it like made me like feel bad for even like asking of you, which you could have been like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I actually got plans. Or like, yeah, man, I'd like to stay till I could stay till 5. Like, that's all I need. Yep. Just tell me yes or no. And don't give me like attitude about it.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, yeah, that's just it. I've found that, in my entrepreneurial whatever journey, I really try to protect people's, like status quo, if you will, because like as entrepreneurs, we're used to having to do all different random shit every single day.
And quick emotion changes.
Most employees, most folks that, that are amazing employees, they come to work every day. They want like a nice, consistent pace.
Yeah.
They don't like that up and down. They don't like whatever. And so even though we weren't even really asking them that, I'm sure they would agree, there is an uncertainty of,
well, I mean, that's why
there's danger on the,
that's why I prefer my job at BASF over my job in the military, because at BASF, I knew like every day I'm going to get to leave work around the same amount of time. Yep. Unless there was like, it'd be like within an hour, like there may be a meeting or whatever. Yeah. But in the military, I could show up and literally as I'm getting ready to leave, like my division accidentally violates a red tag, and then all of a sudden now we're here till 8 p.m. doing a fact finding and like all this stupid bureaucratic stuff because some guy was just really tired and did something he shouldn't have done.
You might be Army, low rank enlisted. We didn't get that officer life, boy. They might look at you and be like, "Hey, where are you going? You're on staff duty," and then now for the next 24 hours you're on duty.
Yeah, I was like on 3-section duty.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like they just like, "Hey, you." Like, no heads up, because you just doesn't matter. Your rank doesn't matter.
And so I think when I think back of my time in the military and how much I disliked the unexpectedness of like the day to day, I try not to allow our work environment here, even though it could get that way, to come off that way,
Yeah, so. You've got to try the best. It's hard. I mean, nobody's perfect.
Stuff happens. Stuff comes up,
yeah.
You think you're gonna bag all the cookies in one day, and then it's like day 2 and you're still bagging cookies and you're like, sorry.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
or the printer's not working and you have to hand label 6,000 bags with a little clicker.
Hey, man, whatever, dude.
I'll talk about this on Instagram probably because I
Yeah.
really should share some more.
Heck
but
yeah.
essentially, our machine that we have now will print the date, the production date on the cookies. And the printer was not hooked up until today. And we had to start bagging these Black Beauty cookies to get them out of the way so that we could get more stuff in the freezer. Yeah. And we had to hand label 6,000 bags with like those little like grocery store clicker things.
Click, sticker.
Yeah, click,
sticker.
Poor June. She literally was
She
like,
held it down.
yeah,
though.
she put a Band-Aid on her finger because she was like getting a
She
blister
knew
from
though.
it.
She was like, "I'm ready to go."
Yeah, she said that she did
the
this.
sticks
She used to work for the newspaper, and she said she did that a lot. Cassie was really quick too.
Cassie was quick, man.
worked
Cassie
at-
was real quick too.
I think June may have been faster.
she may have been. We need to do a race.
But Cassie, from her time working with Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
you know, she had been
pop, pop, pop,
doing that,
hitting it with the like side thing.
so. But
Yeah. Anyways, that was cool. We got those going. Printers up. Bag. Well, so what Brad was talking about earlier, we've got a scale, a bagging machine. I'll keep it super simple. But there's a lot of things going on, and they all got to talk to each other. And if they talk to each other right, we can bag so many bags an hour. It doesn't make sense to do this stuff by hand. So it's all hands on deck, Brad and I, full focus, but in the background, in the back of your head going, if you don't get it together. So good thing, I mean, we came together, we did manually bag a ton, so that was good. The team held it down. Now it's just dialing this process in. This is one of the things that we talk about, you know, but at scale, we're going from, you know, Brad told y'all 100,000 cookies, but that number's only going up. And so to even physically, I mean, we would need like 15 full-time people or some dumb thing like that to try to hang with that machine, to try, you know what I'm saying? Like to just like and box and pallet and this.
I read the math. The machine will do in an 8-hour shift what would take 4 people 40 hours to do.
Yeah, a whole week.
Yeah, so it's 160 man hours versus
per day.
8.
Yeah.
So it's a 20 to 1.
Yeah.
So for every 1 hour the machine's running, you'd have to have 20 people.
Yeah. There you go.
So
we need to get the machine working. But we got the printer working. I'm riding on the printer working today. It's working great. So, hey, small wins. You know, Brad kind of talked about going over some of that stuff. We should go over some of that stuff. And in the meantime, if I can give y'all some advice, try to laugh about it, because if you don't, you'll cry. Yeah. Crying is sad.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, when I was up there at the top of that bagging machine, I was thinking, oh my gosh.
I just want to crawl inside this bagging machine and ugly cry for a little while, but that wouldn't be productive.
So,
and I'm not an ugly crier. So
I probably am.
Movie reference. If y'all know what it is, comment below.
So after we get Black Beauty done, we have to start on bagging Pitch of Tents. Then after Pitch of Tents, we're going to do Big Sexy. And then the final cookie will be the Pudge.
Yup.
And we are aiming right now to have them all finished before Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving. So
we are going to have them finished, boy. We have to.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to. Shipping, end of year, you know all that. We say all the same shit.
Well, it gets really busy for us.
We are going to do it. Manifest it. We're going to do it, man. Yeah, that gives us.
Yep. But this week we have to do.
Which is the 20th.
Yeah. And then is it Thanksgiving this day?
This day? Thursday.
Tight
week, boy.
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
Woo!
So.
Hold on.
Yeah, because I think essentially on the 20th we make DoorDash's orders, and then no one's on. Then we'll just be either running production or bagging on the 21st and 22nd, because we'll be all hands on deck bagging and sealing DoorDash's order to get it out.
Yeah, on the 22nd.
Oh, we're gonna get out on the 22nd.
Well, try to.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. See, listen, you guys get to see like real time sometimes.
You're gonna watch Brad and I's facial hair get grayer. Hopefully, none of the hair. Or the rest of the hair stays on top of my head.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like I definitely have aged quite a bit.
Oh, man.
In this business. I got a lot more. I got like a gray.
Gosh, man, those little memory things pop up, and it's like, look how young you look, and everybody posts it. Look how young Adam looks.
Yeah,
like stop telling. It's like they think they're not. You're not complimenting me. You're like, look how old you look now.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Look how old you are.
Yeah, it's not like you used to look younger than your age.
Yeah, you used to look, I don't know. Oh, wow, you had blonde hair or something. I didn't, but, I don't know.
But anyway, I think that's about all we got today. I want Adam to go eat his food before it gets too cold. And then we got to go check with everything downstairs. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast and the little shooting the shit.
Yeah,
that we
stay tuned, man. Big things, exciting stuff.
You're worth it. Do hard shit.